Hi, and welcome to Alt Sex Talk, into Bubby's Corner, a playlist for Alt Sex Talk. This week we have a special addition to the playlist. We have a guest speaker. We have Justin Tomlinson, also known as JBaby, or International Leather Boy 2019/2020. So, welcome, Justin.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
So, who are you? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Who am I? I'm Jean Valjean. Well, I am just a sweet, happy little leather boy from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who over the past years has sort of created my identity as both an adult baby and a leather boy. And I'm lucky enough that I have been blessed to present classes on age play and different things like that, and different things in the kink community. Such classes that I do are Age Play 101, because any age play presenter has to have one of those. What's a Leather Baby, or How to Be Leather and Little, Alternative Bigs, the Omega Sub, and I'm working on a few others in addition over the Forgotten Languages of Seduction, and for boys and other submissives that are released from their collars, and how to refine your strength. Yeah, and I'm fortunate enough to have been in the scene for quite a while and just doing the best I can, serving, spreading joy, and living authentically.
Awesome. How did you get into the ABDL community?
I I kind of was always curious about diapers, I'll be honest. Like, ever since I was a little chrono kid, or chronological children, which is what we call children who are chronologically 3 years old or something like that. I was always fascinated watching babysitters change other younger babies and wish it could be me. And when I was actually a teenager, I sort of boosted a couple good nights from this one Toys R Us, dating myself, Toys R Us. There was one that I would walk to from my house, and my thinking was there was this package that was often open, and I was like, well, if it's open, they can't sell it, so I might as well take it, But I would grab diapers, and I mean, I was always like, I'm a freak, I'm a weird, I shouldn't be excited about this. Luckily, I kind of was growing up in the Wild West days of the internet, and was fortunate enough to find that there were others who were into this as well. And I was like, okay, I'm a freak, but I'm not the only freak, so it's okay. Was how my mind went at the time. But I was fortunate enough to see okay, this is just, this is a thing that people do, and it doesn't make me bad, and that's okay. And yeah, I'm very thankful that, there was, I was fortunate that the avenues of the internet that I found were beneficial and not too harmful.
In your bio that you sent me a while back, you used the term leather baby.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I had ever heard that term. It was kind of okay, what's that? Still being kind of new myself, it's kind of a different term that we don't typically hear. Can you kind of go into where that came from and what it means for you?
Well, I started calling myself that, and I'm glad that more people are starting to adopt it, which is always nice to be a trendsetter. But I started calling myself because when I discovered the leather world and realized that was a part of me too, there were some people who were like, well, you can't be you can't be a little, you can't be an adult baby. Like you can't be you can either be a baby or you can be a leather boy. Luckily, I was surrounded by more people who were like, why? And I was like, I can't, asking me to choose this or that. Like that's not me. That's not how I roll. And leather is about rebellion. So why wouldn't I like try to create something new? Like I'm about a Reese's, get the chocolate and the peanut butter. So leather and baby powder are two good smells that smell good together. So, I started finding a way that like, I love being a cute little baby boy, but I also love being of service and, helping out my community. So how can I blend those two together? And I, like being able to walk around in a leather harness or a vest and my boots while also sucking on a pacifier and padding. It's let's find a way to blend those. And I'm glad that I've found more people than not that saw it and were like, okay, that's who you are, well come over here baby boy. And been able to, it's weird to say, but to inspire others to find their own blend, because we're all individuals and none of us fit into a mold, so you got to create your own.
Cool. You're a title holder.
I am. Oh, look at
that. What is your platform and what does the title mean to you?
So when I was brand spanking new new into the scene, I actually met the at the time current international leather sir and leather boy, and it was just being able to meet these people and be so impressed of like, oh, they see me this and they're amazing, and I'm just this new weird fey little boy who doesn't know anything. And so it was always this like crazy glimmer of like that is like the pillar. And in creating myself as a leather boy for years, I was like, I'll never run for a title because there's no boys like me who win titles. And fortunately someone said to me, it was like, well, yeah, that's because you've never run. And it was such a oh yeah moment that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this because there are, and after a number of years being in the community, I was like, I'm not the only little leather boy who's also got a little, or who's also a baby boy. I even if I'm not chosen to win the sash, like I have to go out there and do this because someone has to be the first. And people like were saying like, you're a huge underdog, like no one expects you to win. And I'm like, I have got to do this for me. And I was like, I'm going like full out when I go in there. I'm doing me. Like I'm gonna wear my Cookie Monster shirt with my vet. I had actually had a Cookie Monster hanky that I wore during the meet and greet, and people are like, "What is that about?" And I was just really me, my authentic self, and I was like, "That's what I have to be." Like, to me, part of leather is being your authentic self, and I was like, "That's what I have to do and show." And so a lot of my sort of message during my title year was, you belong and you are enough, which is that like we're all part of this, we're all a bunch of weird outcasts, perverts, freaks, weirdos, misfits, but we all belong to this group. And the word enough is actually a very important word to me, because for a long time growing up, I never thought that I was enough. And so being able to say that to myself, that I am enough, it's actually one of my mantras. Every morning when I get dressed and stuff, I have a bunch of mantras I say to myself. And one of the most important ones is, I am enough. And so when I with my title pins, they all say, you belong, you are enough, because everyone should feel that. And so I'm just here to spread love and joy and let people know that who you are is enough and a part of this.
Cool.
And I just feel like sorry to go on, like when I was fortunate enough to win my regional title, and then even more amazing to win this international title as the first openly adult baby to run for international leather boy, let alone win. It's been such a blessing to like see more littles come out of the playpen, if you will, and be able to like be the first and inspire others. And I view it as basically it's a job, an ambassadorship to spread joy and hope to and show that like you know be the sidekick to the world for 2 years now, I guess.
I'm going to kind of branch off and just kind of throw a curveball at you because I didn't
Oh no.
as a question. But I was able to watch one of your speeches, and you got on stage and you talked about superheroes.
Yes.
And can you talk about that? That one really spoke to me.
Thank you. The speech that I ran with, which you can find from my title page, but one of the things I talked about is that I believe that leather is a superpower. It's where, for a lot of us, it's where our strength comes from. It's where our center of where we base a lot of strength and confidence and choices from is, doing it with a leather heart of like, this is why I'm going to do this. To me, it's about holding myself to a higher standard than I did the day before, and doing more than what you can get away with, but being your best that you can. And I believe that like we're here wearing our armor, and we're here to make the world as good as we can. And that leather is a superpower that has gotten us through a lot. It got us through a horrible plague years ago that took a lot of us away. It has got us through really dark times. It is going to get us through a administration. It is going to get us through people that want to take us back to the dark ages and don't believe that all of that our marginalized members matter, that Black lives matter, that trans lives matter, that all it is stronger than a lot of the darkness even within ourselves, and those negative thoughts. And anyway, sorry. It's I believe that like leather is something that like calls us to be more than what we are, and be that for other people.
Awesome. That's what I liked so much about that speech. It was like, wow. I'm really impressed by that. So where do you go from here? What does the future look like for you?
I mean, can anyone answer that question? That's a very different, like, crazy question. I don't even know. I mean, one, it's hope, at some point when it is safe to go out and about again. One of the things I was very fortunate with the title is to be able to go and visit other communities and present and talk to people and listen and learn as well, because I think that those go hand in hand. You can't just talk and share your story, but also receive others people's gifts and what they have to share too. I love presenting and educating, and honestly, like, it's a lot of the smaller communities, especially ones that are like just building something new, it's so rewarding to getting to see that and be a part of something being created, meeting new people and seeing people like just beginning their journey or in a new step, a new phase of their journey is amazing. I love conferences and events. I miss them, and if it means that, like, we change how we do things. Like we adapt and we learn and we grow, and growth is always great, even if some of us never grow up.
So,
Yeah,
talking
so,
about events and stuff like that, word has it that you're kind of working, doing a little event for littles, maybe tables and stuff like that. Want to spill
yes,
the beans?
it is something that unfortunately we've kind of had to put on a back burner because of COVID-19 and a lot of other things that have just have taken more priorities. There's a lot of the resistance going on across the country has kind of taken a lot more of our attention. Also, there's a lot of things we just have had to cancel or postpone because of the pandemic. And but it is the hope that at some point we will get back to working on what is meant to be the International Little and Big contest. We are still, and again, this is something that we'll have to wait until it is safe to do so. But when we were at the time looking for more regional producers to put together their own contest to find a title holder and ambassador for the age play community, because we felt like there's a lot of different title circuits for puppies and pets and all sorts of different groups, which is awesome and great. And we were like, we felt that we're at the crossroads where age players are kind of, that's where we are in. And so in an effort to help grow the community, we are working on a international little and big contest to find ambassadors, and the plan is that they would compete separately to find they're open to all orientations and genders and creeds, all styles, but just to find a little and big, and and who knows, maybe one day we can add middles to that as well, because love to the middles too. They make great babysitters. But just to find people to be representatives and help spread the love and joy that is the part of the age play community, and because representation is important. And the plan is that we will eventually get back to working on that and making that happen, but it's something that is understandably had to be put back on the back burner.
Well, I want to thank you for spending some time with us. And
I always enjoy spending time with you.
yay.
He is a very, very precious boy right there.
Aww. And you are too.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess yeah, I thank you so much for having me, and I hope those watching, please take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a hug. Remember that you belong. You are enough. And yeah.
And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Hopefully in the near future, you're going to be seeing more of JBaby with us. And we will talk to you later. Have a great weekend.
Bye.